Good morning. Hope you have your copy handy. I saw an advertisement the other day for a retreat. You ever go to a retreat or vacation? Uh, They feel great, don't they? To be honest. And the thing is, with retreats, you get to go somewhere and be pampered in a sense. But especially healing retreats, you get to go there. You learn this. A, you get to plug into a community, and then B, you get to learn some kind of a modality while you're there. And then while you're learning this modality, you get to connect with these people, and it kind of creates a community. And then you have to come home. You might even go to some place. I mean, it could be the one I saw was in Mexico for a while, and they were going to administer what in the US is a class Schedule 1 drug, which means it's highly illegal here, which is why it's not in this country. You couldn't legally do this, psychedelic in this country, and so there's a couple of things there that I started thinking about it, because in psychedelic world here, there is when they first started there, and this still might be the standard, but there's a specific group in which you are going to have psychedelics administered for mental health. And that was A, low dose, B, specific room. There was a psychiatric provider, I'll say, medical professional, and then no, the medical professional would be D. So two people, specified room, therefore way out of the reach of the average ordinary guy. And they were not just using they were using mushrooms, I believe, as the psychedelic of choice. And because it was low dose, but yeah, I get advertisements all the time from people selling mushrooms. I know people who buy them online and take them. So there is none of this medical professional presence, none of the psychiatric presence. I've witnessed people go into psychotic states on hallucinogens because what's low dose for me may not be for you. What's low dose for you could send me off into psychosis land. Watch the because there's no governing body. And so that is how and why drugs end up on Schedule 1. So a retreat would be great. I used to teach workshops, come together for a weekend. We would spend time just talking, and I've been at these, and then we tremor, and then we talk more, tremor more, and we share meals together, and you can have a place to stay and eat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that kind of thing is absolute experience, and I don't do that anymore. I'll tell you why. First and foremost, trauma healing, I almost want to say wants to be, but I think it's optimally experienced where the rubber meets the road. Now, if your place is not safe where you live, you might want to find a new place. I know that's hard for some, but that's because it doesn't matter what you do. If your body doesn't feel safe, you're not going to heal regardless of the tool. That's just all there is to it. However, for most people, home is the safe place. So that is where I'm coming to you now. My office to your home, my home to your home. Let's say it that way. And now I'm not ultimately and optimally, I would love to meet people one on one. I can't do that with people who live within 50, let's say 50 miles of here. So that's an hour's drive. That's not reasonable. And it's not happening yet. I've had clients in places in the world, they would have to drive for days and days and days and then put the car in a boat, and that would have to come across the water for days and days and days. And then they would have to drive days and days and days more just to get here. Yeah, okay, see the problem? So even though this is not optimal, because there's a lot that happens in this human presence relationship. All of the senses get to be involved, and that's important. All of them, and that is important, I'll say again. Okay, we sacrifice that to do this via video, but we get to do it in the safety of your own home. And one thing I discovered, because this was how I learned that this workshops was not how I healed. I did not. I did not at all. I learned being at home. I was fortunate that I had a partner who supported me and created that safe environment for me to be in. And so here we have a couple of things going on. If you leave a retreat, you have to be able to have remembered everything that was said and done so you can replicate it. Or you have a weekly session, even via video, that will A, provide you with the materials you need to know when you need to know, that sort of thing, but will allow you to be able to practice these tools repeatedly, and that's what we do here at Raise Your Resilience. Not only that, but Raise Your Resilience does have a community, what do I say? The after was wrong word. I have a community page for people I treat. We all get to be a part of this community and get to learn from one another, talk to one another, just say hi. We have this aftercare. That's the word I was looking for. Aftercare community, primarily for those who've been through the program, so that after the program, we can begin to share what life is like. Even though we're doing this weekly thing, the rubber meets the road, you're going to learn a lot. And then having this after, and one thing you will learn, guaranteed, is that there are a lot of people who have absolutely no idea of what you just went through, which is partly why I created this. I have colleagues the world over because we all took the same modality training, but they are scattered far and wide. And even we don't do this as much as we could, which is why I created stormheartbeat.com. I'll give you all that information later. But here's the point is that when you once you become a toolbox client and you start learning this trademark program, you get to join this aftercare community that is going to grow, and that turns into then a resource for you. Of course, people will have the same community, and they'll be learning the same exact things, but this way on a recording. Except for the times when I decide I'm going to have a call, we're all going to be live. And I'll do that mostly for the course people. Program people get to talk to me live weekly anyway, at least until the day I have to give up doing this so I can run the business. But anyway, the whole point is that people who have a provider of Raise Your Resilience will have something to talk to on a weekly basis. And so the retreat will be shorter but weekly until you gain feeling. You know what that felt sense of being, when we're on vacation, where we get there, the next day I get up. I'm going to go out in the lounge chair with my coffee, with the newspaper. I'm going to open the newspaper, read the whole damn thing that I never had time for anyway. And most of it will probably bore the heck out of me, like the ads and stuff like that, so I won't read those. But I just find it interesting. But anyway, I'm going through this whole experience, and then I don't have to go to work. We know how good that feels, right? And then what happens after you reach the mid? What's looming? Yeah, the ride home. Now, when I think about that, I think of my experience as a child, and my family used to go to northern Wisconsin, both parents smoking in the car like there's nobody's business, and it was a trip there, then a trip back, which was 6, 8 hours. Now I but there was something about getting home, right? The same way in a retreat. Retreat starts, it goes, and then all of a sudden it just ends, and you're off on your various directions, and then you're home. There was some process time when we used to have to drive. Nowadays, I can jet down to Florida to take some advanced Krav Maga training, get on a jet after spending 28 hours banging bodies, heads, weapons, all kinds of stuff with people, bonding, the whole shot, done, almost like it didn't happen, except for the bruises, shows me I Wes Adkins left a whole bunch of them on me, because we were doing elbow work, blocking and throwing in an elbow. "Oh, bro!" Apparently, I did the same thing to him. But anyway, then you're gone, and it's like it never happened. It's so wow, really? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever felt that way? I bet you have. Well, let's kind of even out the and we'll make the healing experience one where we get to be in the place where we live and experience the changes, begin to change the road that the rubber of our feet is meeting. That's what it's all about. We're gonna change the road we're on. So, no, I don't do retreats anymore. Now, and coming into Raise Your Resilience, I am going to ask you what all you're doing to heal, because some of those, I might say, I think you need to stop those, and I'll tell you why. Your nervous system does not lie, and I've had clients like this who have had these issues in the past. They come to me and, "Well, I'm doing this, 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 and this. I just I can't calm down." Your nervous system can't handle that kind of in you are jazzballing yourself with all these modalities. They aren't helping because these are inputs from the outside. I use the tool that's already inside you for you to learn to calm down the nervous system and regulate it. That's a big difference right there in your own home, in the place where it's going to get challenged. So you get those weekly sessions, you know, there's your little retreat. And then eventually the road you discover, not time to change the road you're on. It did change because you changed. That's the important. You changed. So anyway, no, no retreat here. We just keep moving forward step at a time, step at a time. Maybe that's a small step, a half a step, still a step at a time. So other days it will be significantly longer, significantly bigger. So anyway, that's the point. This is not a retreat. I am going to teach you. We will teach you once we get to be a bigger company. We will teach you how to. And you keep your eyes up. I'm going to do a video about what I'm going to do with this company for people who have a vision to help others heal trauma. It's going to be pretty unique in the industry. But anyway, you will get to be able to, because here's the cool thing. I mean, I just went downtown. Um, I was going to call up the pictures and share them here, but I can't do that. Anyway, get to go down by the water. See that we got a little what used to be First Street is now just a park. The water's right there, and they had to build the seawall to stop the rest of it from caving in. Anyway, that's my retreat. I get to be in my local area. It's a little bright out there right now, but that a big maple tree right out there. I can go outside. No, it's not a. I wish I could get sap out of that. There's maple syrup. It's not the right kind of maple. But I've got, and across the street and down here, I've got bigger Douglas firs. And, it's great. It's great. I can live a retreat kind of life all day, every day. Because that feeling then becomes here and here. And I'm learning a few things about those things that are necessary chemically for us to feel that way, to feel really good all the time. One of the things that disrupts it is when we go into fight or flight. But the good news here is, and I'll close with this, is that once you learn to be in this state of social engagement, this state of safety, which is a neurophysiological state of being, it will be difficult for you to be pulled out of that by the fight flight. I've got Stephen Porges' book, Polyvagal Safety. He says it right in there. It's just once you're there, it's easier to see what you should respond to and what you don't need to respond to. So, enticing, if you ever felt that way. If you wanna learn more, like it, raiseyourresilience.com. I am a somatic trauma healing guide. Better better outcome, better tools, better focus, better outcome. Anyway, have yourselves a great weekend. Well, actually, it's Saturday, but this will be on the 26th. You'll see this. I will release it then, and have yourselves a great Thursday. And since you have a weekend coming up, have a great one then. Talk to you later.